Yo. Oh. Look, I've got a little miniature Fraser.
I've got a baby.
Oh, mate.
I'm a little bit disappointed that I couldn't find. She's also just pooed in my hand. I'm also a little bit disappointed I couldn't find like a camouflage onesie.
Leave it with me. I'm on it.
Yeah. Oh, that stinks. She's literally just had a crap.
Nice.
Hi, everyone on the chat.
Welcome to the world of online streaming, Poppy.
Yeah, this is Poppy. So I'm going to give her back to her mother now. But I just thought I'd say hello. So, hello.
Oh, mate. She needs food, Seymour. Feed me.
Right, I'll leave you to have a chat, Lance, and I'll be back in 2 minutes.
Okay, mate. Evening all. What have we got in the chat? We've got James, Nick, Fresh Meat. Oh, Fresh Meat. Oh. Patrick, welcome along. Andy. Evening, gents. Yeah, Q&A tonight, guys. So we had a couple of corkers coming actually this week. Questions. So I'll wait for his lordship to get back from dropping his spawn back to the mother, and then we shall crack on. Evening, Les, Dimitri, Ari. Apologies for our hiatus last week, gents. So some family bits and bobs going on. So unfortunately, we weren't able to do a stream last week, which I'm sure you can all understand and appreciate. So, but good to be back this week, and ease yourselves back into it gently with a Q&A. And he's back. There he is. Did you wipe the shit off your hands before we go any further?
Oh, yeah. It was a fart on my hand, but I don't know what was in the nappy because the fart definitely went through some sort of medium.
Evening, Dave.
Oh. Hello, everyone.
So have you had any sleep at all?
Not loads. Pretty tired. Yeah. I'd say yeah. It's basically like, I don't know. I mean, this is obviously isn't a baby podcast, but I don't know how to like get her to sleep in a cot just on her own. So
I don't know what to do.
It's quite a lot of sort of cuddling, and then she sort of falls asleep on me, and then I have to basically just sit there awake in fear of falling asleep in case I crush her.
Yeah,
so, yeah.
I was terrible when my kids were little, mate. As soon as the missus put one on my chest, I'd lay on the sofa and just go. They were like a hot water bottle, just instant calm for me. I could be wide awake. I'll get a baby and go.
Yeah, and it is. And then also, you go to the NCT classes, and they're like, "Yeah, don't do that because you will kill the baby." And you're like, "Oh."
Yeah, oh, sorry about that.
Oh, blimey!
Nice to be back this week. Q&A,
yes.
mate. Q&A.
Yes.
Any purchases, Mike, in your busy week of children?
I did have some purchases. So I spent a lot of time sitting at the hospital on my own with my eBay up, and I purchased one of these. I actually purchased two of these, to be fair. But they're basically just a little blanking panel with a little medic pouch on there.
Oh, nice.
Little medic pouch, sort of pre-sewn. So if I ever run a medic roll, yeah, I thought it looked quite snazzy.
Yeah, nicely done, like that.
Yeah. So yourself?
Red Bull. Well, I took your advice on the old Miltech 40-litre assault pack, and I've got the OD Green Coyote Tan combo one. That's come out.
See, I do like the colour of that. It doesn't look quite the same colour as it did on the website.
For the past...
He can't hear me because he's got his headphones out.
Hey, sorry?
He can't hear me because you've got your headphones out.
No, I did say that. Headphones falling out.
I was saying I quite like the colour of it because it doesn't look quite as contrasty as it does on the website.
No, it doesn't. No, and I was quite chuffed with that actually, and I sort of thought, well, I could possibly get away with that in sort of both sort of up blue 4 rolls, PMC. It's a bit of an all rounder really, because it's not like multicam or MTP. It's not completely OD olive drab or anything like that. And obviously the desert colour's got like a nice combination of the both. So, and I was pleasantly surprised at how good it was. Not that I was poo-pooing it before I got one or anything like that. So don't take anything out of what I'm just saying there. But the width of the shoulder straps, super comfortable. And this has been fully loaded as well. Like been having to stomp around the forest of it. The waistband isn't much to talk about, but on a lot of bags, a lot of them are like that. So I don't use it, so I'm not. It will probably end up being cut off or removed at some point. But the shoulder straps were wicked. All the pockets, all modular. The zips, I was really impressed with actually how strong and how robust the zips are. I was expecting to be quite thin, sort of like Mickey Mousey sort of zips, but they're actually like a nice sort of, I wouldn't say military grade, but certainly a nice, strong, sturdy set of zips on there, all with like pull tab paracord on them. So yeah, I was pleasantly surprised with it. And it's a wicked little bag. Well, I say little, it's no different than my other 40-litre one, but I like it because it's all the pockets are very modular and there's all bits and bobs inside it and things like that. Do you know what I mean? There's storage within storage and things like that. Room for a camel bladder in the back of it. So yeah, really impressed and super comfy to wear. Super comfy. So yeah, I was pleasantly surprised with that. So thank you, Mike, for your little
that's all right.
Show off.
I did buy something else. Hang on, let me just grab it.
Oh, camera's gone, Mike.
Oh, hang on. I'll sort that out.
Oh, that should have been on at the start.
I had the baby. So I jumped straight on. I can't really see very well with this on, but for those watching last week, everyone called me the week before. Everyone called me Batman. So I thought that was amusing. So
I think my daughter's watching. Yeah. Evening, Leah.
Just look like chubby Batman.
No, I love it.
With a really pointy nose. Anyway, yeah. £5 well spent.
That's it. Yeah, £5. I'm never going to get that back.
Oh, blimey. Right, cool.
Here's the ringleader there, Mr. Andy Bob. Evening, Bob. Yeah. Bat Dad. They are great videos on YouTube.
I'll quickly just run through the chat. Everyone's saying evening. Hello, babies. James C. Stream live rather than watching the repeat back. Thanks for that.
Beautiful.
But if you'd like to watch the repeats, they are pretty good.
There are many. What number is this actually now? This
is episode 40. Today we've been on literally, I would say 40 weeks, but we have had a few gaps.
Yeah, technically we've been going have we been going a year yet?
No.
With the gaps included? No, we haven't yet. No, okay.
No.
Right.
No. We're getting there.
We're getting there. Not long.
Nick Pratt says, I've been told the baby whiskey is a big no-no. Yeah.
For you or the baby?
Well, yeah. Dimitri says you need a big Red Bull. I've drunk so many energy drinks, it's ridiculous. At one point, genuinely, I got into bed. I was like, I am so awake.
Yeah, I am right up for this.
Yeah. Patrick Foxtrot said the secret to babies is to give them to their mums 24/7. You see, that's I've tried to step up a little bit just because I want Anna to sleep as much as possible. But at the same time, I can't breastfeed, and she keeps trying to breastfeed with me. Which is just awkward for everyone involved. So, yeah. Andy says, actually, whiskey. I was a nightmare baby, and my dad used to put his little finger in some whiskey and let me suck it off his finger, and I turned out fine. Did you?
Is that your own opinion, Andy, or have you asked opinions on that? No, fair play.
James C says, try to find the Miltech bag in multicam, but can't. Any guidance? While we look through the episode, or while we go through the episode, James, I'll see if I can find a link for you.
Yeah, I believe I got my one, James, on Amazon, but however, I didn't look for an MTP one because I saw, or multicam, should I say, I saw this one, so I thought, no, I like that. I'm going to go for that one. Unless you can get one in a slightly different size, perhaps. There might have been more available in a different size. Because I know they do various sizes in that kit pack. So, yeah, we shall find out. Mate.
Louise says, hi, Dad. Dad, hi, Dad. Dad.
I think that's my daughter saying hi via the wife's phone.
Joe's there with the ducks and some beers. Hi, Joe.
Joe, whack.
Andy says Mike's Batman. Yeah, I only did that for you, mate. Just especially. So.
But in all fairness, so you are Batman.
Yeah, just Fresh Meat says Bat Dad. Nick says just confirmed he is the Batman.
He is the Batman.
Bat Dad 2.0. Andy, this is getting posted on the Facebook page later. Sorry, I'm just reading the comments now. Nick says, have you duct taped a nappy yet? I haven't. I've actually been pretty fortunate with the nappies. One little funny story was my wife had to go in to have a forceps delivery, which was pretty extreme. She lost like a litre of blood at one point and it was all over the floor. I'm genuinely a little bit worried that she might die, not going to lie. So that was pretty traumatic. But they get the baby out. The baby's in the far corner. I'm there with the baby, and the consultant comes over and says, everything's fine with your wife. Congratulations, you become a dad. I said, yeah, I don't really like babies, but I quite like this one. And she said, that's excellent, because that means you can take that one home then.
That's the result.
So, yeah. Andy says, Mayor, people have said that. It's not just my word. People, personally, I think I'm a bit of a tit. Yeah.
No comment. No comment. Yeah.
And then James C says, out of stock in MTP, but all other colours in stock. Bummer. I'll see if I can find your link, James. I'll do a little bit of research while we're on the episode.
Go Coyote Town, mate. You'll like it.
No, it does look quite nice. I must admit, as soon as payday rolls around, there will be one in my basket. So, yeah. Cool. Oh, so how are we? I feel it was a bit of like a mental first 10 minutes of the episode.
Very well, mate. Very well. As well as it can be expected. Oh, very warm in the airloft, though, I must say.
Yeah.
Even though it's cooled down, it's still hot. I mean, it must have been roasted a couple of weeks ago. I was like, oh my God. So there we go. Yeah, not too bad. Busy working, usual. Obviously, yourself, you're playing house and being dad.
Yes, that's going well. So just not a lot of sleep.
Just need
it's
to
all
sleep
good.
so much.
It's all good. I did get to about 6 o'clock this afternoon. I was like, I've got to go do a podcast. And then I was like, no, you know what? I actually enjoy the podcast. That's not a hassle at all. But
no, exactly that.
But then I was thinking, I've got to deal with the baby. How am I going to deal with the baby at the same time dealing with the podcast? So,
oh my God.
Yeah. James, just so you're aware, Harry Badger and Mike. Harry Badger and Mike Brewer very kindly put some links on the Facebook page. So I don't know if you've got access to those, but there's some links there to Miltech, I believe, multicam bags. So thanks, guys, for sorting that out. Really,
sold backpack, yeah, nice. Yeah, like I said, they could be available in different varying sizes. So they might not be available in the 40 litre if that's what you're after, James, but they could well be available in like the 20s or something like that. So have a look, mate. Let us know.
Cool.
Actually,
right. So, sorry.
No, go on, go crack on. So I'm just
I was going to say
my survival aids, and I mean as in survival aids, as in something to help you, not like the horrendous virus.
Oh, we've still got the link on the branding from the last one of the last room. So there you go.
I was actually just going to quickly cruise through. If you do the first question, see if I can.
Yeah, that's fine. So I had the first question that came in. Sorry. Harry says they've got all colours, including the rape/murder bag red. There you go. Cool.
That was a howler. That one.
Yeah.
I'm gonna forget that in a hurry.
The first question that came in was from Rage asking how much sleep I'd had. So yeah, covered that. Not a lot, basically. I would like a lot more.
Any sleep.
Yeah.
They're not in that pack. So.
Dimitri Rage reached out to me on Facebook with an interesting one. How to deal with cheaters in Airsoft, the reactions to them, and then subsequently how to deal with getting pissed off in-game.
Oh, let's break that down into a couple of questions.
Yeah, cover the cheaters first. How to deal with cheaters sort of within a MilSim. So obviously MilSims are a slightly different affair than skirmishes, I would argue, along the lines that MilSimmers probably generally tend to be those that have played a little bit more regularly, a little bit more experienced. I'm stereotyping slightly.
I mean, at the end of the day, personally, I think cheating's cheating at the end of the day, isn't it? If you're not taking your hit, whether it's a MilSim skirmish or whatever, the fact of the matter is it's cheating. I wouldn't. I mean, I've fallen foul of this sort in a bit earlier in the youth of just like being all hot-headed and beep, 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 take your hits, beep, you massive beep, and things like that. But then it doesn't really get you anywhere because then you just get another guy coming at you going, well, you can shut your beep, 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 beep. Do you know what I mean? I did take my hit and all this. So best thing to do is just have a quiet word in the marshal's ear or one of the organisers' ear rolls and say, look, I've had a couple of sets with this guy now. I've clearly line of sight. I've clearly seen my BBs bouncing off him. Whether he's wearing a day sack or a plate carrying it, he's not quite feeling the hits or something like that. I don't know. I've had that before where I've been hitting the backpack and someone said, oh, mate, I hit you. And I've been right. Okay, sorry, bud. Didn't feel it, but yeah, hit, fair enough, whatever. Could be that situation. But if you can blatantly know that they're cheating, the best thing you can do is just make it known to a marshal or an event organizer of the situation, who they are. And 9 times out of 10, guys, is if they're going to cheat with you, they're going to be doing it with other people. And it's going to filter on. They're going to get more and more complaints. They're going against them. In the end, the event organizer is going to say, look, mate, you're not taking your hits. You're being a dick. Pack your kit and fuck off. And that'll be the end of it then. You're not going to get yourself into a confrontation with someone. You're not going to give them any bait to then come after you or anything like that. Any of that business. Just keep yourselves away from it. Report it to the officials, if you like, at the event, and let them deal with it. And that's what they're there for. And that's the best thing you can do about it. I've fallen foul of it before, and I've just completely lost my rag. But then you sort of learn from your mistakes, and because afterwards you think, I was a bit of a dick there. Shouldn't have really done that. Although he was being a dick, not taking hits. But can't fight fire with fire, tit for tat.
It's always taking the moral high ground, isn't it? Like
exactly that, mate. Yeah, just let the officials know.
About get annoyed though. I would argue that don't just turn the other cheek per se. It's still got to be dealt with because it ruins the game for everyone. As Lance said, you might not be the first one to come up against that. Exactly. I mean, I find you get cheaters on both sides as well.
Oh,
so you get the cheaters that claim that they have been hit. Oh, sorry, the cheaters that claim they haven't been hit, and then you've got the people shouting at you that they have hit you. When BBs hit foliage and trees and stuff like that, it's kind of a bit of give or take, really.
That's it. I mean, and also as well, on the flip side of that is you have to be sure that you're calling it as you see it. So you need to be 100% clear as day. I've seen my BBs ricocheted off his clothing, off his body armor, off his body, or whatever. You can't just say he was just to the left-hand side of that bush, and I've put so many rounds in there now. He must be hit, and he's not taking it. That's that you can't give that, because I've been in situations where I've had rounds pouring at me I've got a lot of vegetation in front of me and I've not been hit. Maybe a couple of bounce backs off the floor or something, but that's a bounce back off the floor. It means nothing unless it's a round that's coming directly and hit you. Then you've got to be really careful that you're not calling out someone who's genuinely not getting hit by your BBs, although you think you're hitting them. That's two different things altogether. So you must be very, very sure before you go pointing fingers, because that can then get someone in turn very, very cross and say, look, mate, I'm genuinely not been hit by you. It's really difficult. It is really difficult because there's no marker or like paintball. There's no paint splatter on your gear or anything like that. The only thing you might come up with is a bit of a welt, but that could have been from ages ago. You don't know. That's the thing. Just got to be careful with it and be tactful with your reporting process.
Yeah, I mean, there's other aspects to cheating as well. So, for example, there might not be a clear understanding of the rules. I've been to events where one team has been maybe briefed that they've got a shorter regen time than another team, just through sort of a bit of a lack of communication.
Yeah.
I've had a game before where there was a 5-minute bleed out time. I was sort of hiding in a bush with my ghillie hood on, so I didn't want anyone to know I was there. But the guy I shot was there for 15 minutes. I'm like, this is ridiculous. Is he just waiting for someone to come and medic him in? So I actually ended up crawling over to him saying, look, you're dead. There's a 5-minute bleed out time. Oh, sorry, I didn't know that. So, sometimes it's not just I'm going to cheat. It might just be.
No, it could be a complete genuine misunderstanding of the rules.
Yeah.
Sorry, mate. I fell foul of that at the Octo event with the medic rule, where if you get hit in the arm, that arm's isolated, but you can still fire with the other arm and things like that.
Oh,
That's the only event I've ever been to where they have that rule. And no, I'm not saying I've cheated at any of these events, but what I tend to do is if I get hit, is I just go to ground and just hit, medic. Whereas afterwards, and then finally, obviously, I'll get taken out of the game and have to go and respawn or whatever. And I'm thinking, oh shit, I could have carried on with my other arm. But then I still don't remember for the next time I get hit or something like that.
When you hit someone else and you see them kind of go down and then they're immediately up again and they might have changed arm or whatever like that. Exactly, but you're like, I'll just hit you.
Yeah. You think, oh, bugger. So there's things like that, and like just genuine misunderstandings. 9 times out of 10, things like that get ended up with a pat on the back and a laugh, for the rest of the day, sort of thing, which is good if it can be sorted out like that. But cheating, don't like that. If it's full on naughty cheating, don't like that at all.
Yeah. I'll just run through the comments. There's a few interesting reactions as to how to deal with cheaters.
There is, even in Marcus.
Fresh Meat says, just keep shooting them. And Bob says, yeah, cheaters get closer and shoot again. If they do it again, light them up with an LMG. So, yeah. Don't necessarily agree with Damien's here, which is just full auto in the head.
Full auto to the head. If they're not taking their hits, I'm not going to condone that. You do what's right for you at the time. That's how I'm going to answer that question.
We don't want November Foxtrot to be brought into any deposition or anything.
Exactly. Yeah. You do
Ratty says,
what you felt was right for you.
Yeah. Ratty says Lance is fluent in Morse code.
Oh, is that my swear filter?
Andy says, if they still don't call it, walk away to another part of the site and tell a marshal. I mean, to be fair, some of the MilSims generally have in-game marshals as well. You'll have sort of playing marshals, and quite often, I mean, a lot of the games I've played at, most of the people know each other on both sides. So it's, you could always just have a chat with one of them and say that
you're going to be hard pressed to find someone who's going to be as blatantly cheating like that. I mean, that's quite an extreme scenario to be shooting at someone, blatantly hitting them, and then still not taking it. I mean, pardon it, but I sort of expect that more at a skirmish day than I would an organised MilSim event sort of thing. So I get hounded by skirmishers now. Can't take that.
Harry has a good one. So my home site, calling out people not taking their hits is also considered cheating. We shoot with our guns and not with our mouths. I like that. That's actually a really good little mantra.
Absolutely, mate. Yeah, and that goes like we said previously. Is obviously not calling them out on it. Just go and report it to an official, to a marshal, to an organizer, and let them deal with it. And if the person who's in question has done it multiple times, they're going to have multiple reports on that one person. It'll be bye-bye. Go a little sleep.
Fresh Meat says aim for a soft spot.
Ooh, in a thigh.
Yeah.
In a thigh. Yes, please.
Hi, Rage.
Evening, Rage.
James says, I remember at the Octo game, me and another mate fighting one of the PMC guys, and my mate throwing me pistol mags while I used my pistol. We both just had one arm and I ran out of mags. Yeah, you see, it was the Octo game, and this isn't in any way a slight to the Octo games. It was just we weren't really fully on board with those rules. A lot of the games that we played at, if you hit, you hit.
Exactly
and
that,
mate. It was
it's
just that. So our team, every time we got a shot, we're like, oh, we're dead.
Yeah, just really flamboyant deaths on the floor. And I've got like JTF standing there looking at this going, what the fuck are you doing? You've been hitting the arm, for Christ's sake. Why are you rolling about like that?
Yeah. So going on to the next
Josh
stage.
said, get into it. Otherwise, what we're doing.
Josh said we have to pretend. I mean, to be fair, some of us went full Shakespeare, so that was a bit weird.
Yeah.
But it was good fun. So in terms of how to deal with getting pissed off in game, then, I mean, I would argue one of the points there about kind of just deal with it and move on would be a fair sort of way of handling that.
Again, I'm guilty. I can confess. So yes, my name is Lance, and I have been pissed off in a few games. Don't laugh at me like that. And best thing for me to do is just to take myself away, get a brew on, have a sit down, have a vape or a smoke, and just chill. A legal smoke. There's like a roll up or a cigarette. I don't mean a smoke. Have a blaze, and then just come back with some Cheetos and give everyone hugs and high fives. But yeah, that's the thing. Just take yourself out of the situation that's obviously created your hot-headedness or the anger issue or whatever it is it might be. Remove yourself as quickly as safely as possible. Back to your fob, under your basher, get a brew on, a few deep breaths, and just chill. Chill the Jeff out. At the end of the day, it is a game. And a lot of people say that, but it's at the time that's not the sort of thing you want to hear. Because there's something that's obviously pissed you off, and you're well aware that it's a game, but there's still something that pissed you off within that game. So, just remove yourself from the situation, I'd say, mate, and just go and take 5 minutes for yourself, and then sort of come back into it with a sort of a fresh mind.
Yeah, I think one thing as well to bear in mind is if you do get pissed off, there is an element that having someone on your team just ranting and raving, and I've been fully guilty of this before, just ranting and raving about the game shit, the day shit, it's shit, your shit, their shit.
Yeah,
it's very, very annoying, and I know I've done this, and I've always sort of kicked myself afterwards for doing it. But when you're kind of going, oh, it's fucking crap, oh, they're cheating, or all of this, it just ruins the guys behind you day. It ruins the guy ahead of your day.
It will bring other people down around you. Do you know what I mean? Is he back?
You just stopped talking. I was expecting you to continue.
No, sorry, mate. No, my screen just froze. I had this big notification come up, and I was clicking it off, and I was like, I'm back again. Yeah, it will do. It will bring your team down around you. I mean, if you're sort of pissed off with an event, there's probably if you're in a team as such, there's a good chance that a few others may well be. So it's not maybe going to plan, or maybe it's not going to the way you wanted it to go, or your team's being dealt a bit of a bad hand or whatnot. But end of the day, just pick yourselves up and just sort of try and smash it as best you can. Do you know what I mean? Which is tough. It can be tough.
I find if you've got someone that's really pissed off, the best way that I find to try and diffuse the situation is just be like, do you want a hug?
Mm.
Do you want a hug? It doesn't work quite so well post-COVID, but pre-COVID it worked quite well. Or sweets, that's another one. Just do a sweet.
Have a sweetie. Have a sweetie. It'll all be fine. It's all fine.
Yeah. So yeah, that's cheaters, I guess. Andy just says how to not get angry, just whiskey again. Whiskey for everything. There we go.
Whiskey helps. Yeah.
Problem solved.
That's now going to be known as Andy's cure-all.
Ray says most of the time I find cheaters aren't actually cheating. They just didn't realise they got hit. Also, shouting and stomping your feet only ruins your day. Just shoot at someone else. Exactly that.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly that. So, that being said, I think it was Fresh Meat. I think said we need that as a patch for the full auto in the head. So, yeah.
Oh, okay. Something to bear in mind, I think.
Right, cool. Next question from. Did you want to do yours, Lance? I know Michael, I think,
yes.
had one come through.
He did. Yeah, he came up with a little question actually. So, this is from Mikhail Weremko. Apologies if I've not pronounced that correctly, but so he asks, how do you identify friend and foe when there isn't clear difference between camos, or in low light environment? Do you use some kind of shout and respond method? Mike.
So the darkest event. Oh, I'll go with it. The darkest event I've ever been to was a Longmoor one. It was a Battle Stations Activity Centre MilSim, and it was hands down one of the best MilSims I've ever done, because we were fighting a rebel force that was treating local villagers with some sort of thing that turned them into zombies. So we were genuinely fighting zombies.
Brilliant.
at Longmoor. The teams were broken down. There was the NATO forces comprised of 6 guys, of which, they broke us down into sort of 2 groups of 3. I think there was probably about 12 local militia, and I think the rebels and sort of villager forces ranked at about sort of 20. And it was so dark, none of us had night vision, and no word of a lie, we were trying to work our way from the main sort of concrete fob area round the back by the gas tower. And it was so dark that we literally had one hand on each other. Just the first person was just like stumbling along. And if a car had come down with their headlights on, they'd just seen 6 guys like huddled all up together, just literally a hand on each other's shoulder, just trying not to fall over. So, yeah, I mean, the dark, if you've got night vision, that kind of solves all problems, doesn't it, really? You kind of get the, if I've understood the question correctly, you kind of get the IR strobes, bits and pieces like that, so you can sort of help identify team members. You've got communications and radios that obviously help out a little bit as well. But in terms of physically identifying them, that kind of comes into mostly if they're shooting at you, I guess. I mean, I've had situations where I have literally bumped into the enemy, not realised who they were. You're having a chat with them, and then all of a sudden it turns out that they're your opposing forces, and it's just who can draw their pistols quicker.
Yeah, true. Yeah. I mean, that's why a lot of events. I mean, I think you'll probably struggle to get events where the camo patterns are very, very similar. I don't know. Possibly they could. I've not really seen it myself. Unless there's been like someone's cocked up and they've actually like. For example, like we say about it starts raining. The only waterproof jacket you've got is an MTP jacket, but you're playing a rebel force against JTF. Do you know what I mean? And they see you with an MTP jacket on. Oh, he's one of us. Oh no, he's not. So that comes into it. But with regards to like if you are wearing a similar camo pattern, I'm guessing I don't really know what would be similar of an opposing forces. I mean, worst case scenario, if you had one side in multicam and then one side in MTP, do you know what I mean? It's going to be like, wow, right, okay, our comms have got to be really spot on now, and that's going to fall onto the team leaders and like sort of like the section commanders, if you like, to know, right, this is my section, we're here, I've got Alpha and Charlie or Delta and Charlie's right and left of me, moving forward. We've got no other friendly forces out there, so anything we encounter now is going to be an enemy force or whatever it might be. And I think obviously that's going to be a massive part of it, is your communications, knowing where your other sections are on your task force side or your op force side, know where the other sections are, what they could be doing, and that's where all the team leader comes in before they go and do their patrols or whatever it is, just to clarify where they're going to be, where they're going to be operating at, and obviously the strength, like team sizes, that could be a good indicator, things like that. Comms is a major one for PID and your targets, and obviously getting good eyes on as well, and knowing your team as well. And I mean that as a conglomerate of the whole section, and not just like your little team. Oh, me and my 5 mates have gone along for the weekend, but you could be 40 up on the Op4 side or 40 up on NATO side. So you need to sort of know vaguely, the section sizes and where they're going to be operating. And I think to give you a clear indication of where they're going to be and stop sort of like blue on blues and things like that. But then you have got the night side, like you said, Mike, when night falls and that, you've got the challenges at night, people coming in and out off stag. You can do like the 5 numbers or the 4 numbers, whether you've got a numerical code and you say, well, I'll give you the last 4, the last 2, you give me the number 1 and number 3 or something like that. How it works.
The best one I've seen is where you have to, it adds up to like 12, say. So you get one team shout 6 and then the other team can shout 6 and then you know that it adds up to 12.
Yeah.
I did that with somebody once and they clearly weren't very good at maths. So
right.
We shouted 6, they shouted 5, we lit each other up. So.
Yeah, little methods like that, to ID yourselves as friendlies and things like that, Or you've got the basic challenge. I mean, I can't see that being something you couldn't do. Like if you're not unsure, if you're one side of a dugout or something and you've got someone on the other side of the building, I don't suppose any harm in you shouting like blue 4 or op 4. And I'd expect you, if there was a gentleman, to get a response. Obviously, if they are op 4 and you're blue 4, I'd expect them to say nothing.
Yeah.
But if they were blue 4, they'd say, yep, blue 4, If you don't hear
just don't shout friendly, because friendly obviously means
friendly
different sides.
Friendly could be either side. If you challenge someone at the other side of the building and say blue 4 and you've got no response, you can light them up. That's as easy as it can be, really, isn't it? What I mean? And if anything comes toward, we was blue 4. I was like, well, you could have shouted up, Yeah, but we've been laying here for 4 hours waiting to set an ambush. We were just about to spring, and then you come up behind us and shout blue 4. Sorry about that.
But then again, as you said, it comes back down to your communication with Zero. I mean, if you've got a good team command structure, I mean, even not just from a local perspective, if you've got someone the Legion events are a good example of that. You usually have like a command network that's got a map. They've got a rough idea of where their teams are. And there's a proper command net there, so it should kind of help you not start lighting up your own team. I mean, Rage makes a good point that someone shooting at you doesn't mean they're on your side. Anyone who's been in the army will tell you that. So yeah, it happens. I guess in my mind, if they're the enemy, they're the enemy if they're shooting at you. So
yeah, in that particular moment, they are the enemy. Yo. Oh dear.
So, I mean, there's also
in the chat there quickly. Wanted to shout out to Rage. So basically, at the last APOC event, Marcus had a bit of a whoopsie with his gun case and a Ford Focus car reversing over a portion of it, which did a bit of damage. Nothing, obviously, thankfully, not to any of the weapons or anything like that. But obviously, the case took a bit of a hammering, and rightly so. That's why we have cases for these things. Didn't realise they'd be that strong to have a Ford Focus reverse over it and be absolutely fine. But Rage, out of nowhere, like an absolute knight in shining armour, just whips out a brand new case out the back of his car. Marcus, here you go, mate. That's for you. So,
nice.
There we go. A bit of giving there at a MilSim event. That's what we love to see. So that's a boost for the community there. So big shout out to Rage for his generosity. Very appreciative of that, mate.
I have a couple follow-up questions. What? So who was driving their car over people's kit to start with?
No comment. So basically, Marcus's kit was unloaded from his vehicle. I think Marcus had popped to the loo, and that was it. And I think someone was reversing their car slowly, not taking the piss or anything like that, just reversing. And Marcus's car and this car in particular was side by side. He turned around, put the kit on the floor, and then we've heard. I can't remember who it was now. It was going no, and then the car it got onto the corner of the case, stopped, and then went off again. But But like I said, thankfully the content's absolutely fine. But the case took a bit of a beating on that corner, but it done its job. Very impressive, actually.
Well, that was going to be my follow-up. I'm back. What was the case? What was the case that survived that? Because that's clearly a really good review. For a case that withstood that. So, Marcus, if you could just whack that in the chat, because that'd be good to know. But yeah, definitely. Well done, Rage.
But yeah, kudos to Rage. Good on you, mate.
Rage is our Nofo hero of the week. There you go.
Yeah. There'll be a multi-pack of Swish on its way to you, mate, in the post. Because you love it.
Why do you want to anger him? Oh, blimey. No, going back to the night vision the identification at night. You can also use obviously like the little glow sticks or the daylight, like the day glow. Like, you know, the little IR, like they're not IR, but the little illuminators that you can use. So obviously, if you've got like enough proper teamwork to start the event, you can. Sorry, Rage has just said, "I hate you, Lance."
Oh, mate.
You can obviously work as a team and go, right, we're going to use for this night, you know, blue glow sticks or something like that to kind of, if you've got like the little ones on your back, or any sort of like marker identifications like that as well.
Yeah, I mean, I've always found the little the fishing night glow sticks, fishing floats. They're probably about an inch long, maybe a little touch over an inch long. Perfect. You can literally wedge them down inside a bit of netting or anything like that, or tape them up so it's literally just the tip showing, and then just have that on display. And that's a nice little indicator, you know, back of your boonie out or your lid or whatever it is at night time.
Oh no, I was thinking like if they're ahead of you. So if you've got someone, if you're approaching a position or whatever like that, you've got someone with a glow stick like in the little pouch you can just pull out and wave just briefly.
Oh, just whip it out, give it a wiggle, and then you know, come on in.
Yeah,
beautiful.
There you go.
I love that.
Nice one. Actually, Nick,
I remember that the next time we were out. If you shout at me for getting it out and wiggling at it, so it was your idea, all right?
Yeah. Well executed, Lance. Well executed.
You,
Nick
makes
a
scope
good
to see me. Oh yeah, I'm with you. Yeah, there it is.
I've got my magnifier. Nick makes a good point on the clickers like the American used in D-Day. You can actually buy. I bought one the other day just again because I'm a nightmare with eBay. They're little dog trainers that literally just make a little clicker. I think they were called crickets in the D-Day.
Or something.
Yeah. But I mean that again is something if if everyone in the team has them, then it's quite useful for that. So.
Oh, sorry, that's my indicator there. I'll take a glass of me and a little beater and just play some tunes. There we go. It's me.
Mike Brewer says JTF have previously used a tracking app. Team leaders are logged in and can see the different squads on a map. Yeah, so I think that's
nice. They use that a lot.
If you can throw a name up there, Mike. I think it's like Blue something or other. Can't remember the name. Yeah, if you've got a link to that, Mike, that'd be quite helpful. But yeah, I've seen that quite because obviously you get like the little flip down pouch, your phone and stuff, and you can sort of see stuff on there.
Nice. BFT.
BFT. There you go. It's probably called Blue Force Tracker. Yeah, there you go.
Blue. I was literally about to say Blue Force Tracker. Oh, there it is.
I think it's going to be blue something.
Standing by.
So cool. Nice one. All right. Well, Mike can throw a link up on there, and we can throw that out as well. Nick says, "What's the worst airsoft, or what's your worst airsoft buy?"
My worst airsoft buy. Oh, bugger me. My worst airsoft buy. I did buy I bought a pair of goggles once, like big goggles, and they were awful. But they were awful because they were like £3.50 when I was only literally just started out, and I thought, I'll get some like Black Hawk Down, on the top of the helmet goggle things. And I bought these, and they turned up, and I was like, these are just. I put them on. I hadn't even moved. I put them on. They just went like frosted. I was like, these are fucking great. These are. Yeah, winning. No one can see where I'm looking. That's basically all they were good for. Is to stop people seeing your eyes. Because you couldn't see out of them, they couldn't see it.
You got a ready-made detention kit.
Yeah, it was just horrendous. Literally, I could put them on in the cold, it just go instantly frosted up. I'm just like, this is crap, rubbish. Yeah, that's probably one of my worst purchases ever. I think. Yeah. What about yourself, mate?
So I bought a little night vision monocular. It was £300. I bought it about 5 years ago, and it stopped working. And then for the life of me, I tried to find some places that would. It was like a Yukon something or other. I know. I tried to find some places that would fix it, and that I couldn't find anywhere to fix it. And basically, it was just £300 down the pan. So that was pretty depressing.
Oh,
he's back. Yeah.
Well, we all learn, mate, didn't we?
Yeah. And then to be fair, I mean, I could probably come up with a list of stuff. I was just thinking what else I bought. I bought. So I think it's like a South African load-bearing vest. Mm-hmm. Type configuration. So it's got loads of pouches on the front, sort of mesh panel on the back. Bought one of those, used it once, decided I didn't like it. There you go.
There we go.
If anyone wants one, I've still got it in my loft. So yeah. Because I'm an idiot, I bought one in DPM and one in black at the same time, not thinking to try the first one. So I've got two sitting up in my loft.
Two that he equally hates.
Yeah. So, but I mean, there's a variety of stuff. I mean, I find that there's a lot of equipment or kit that I buy and then decide to move on with. So I bought some Binatone Action 1000 radios. It's like my first comm set. I think they were probably just as expensive as a Baofeng.
I think
they're obviously proper PMR radios. Yeah. So it's things like that, really. I wouldn't say they're necessarily the worst. I think the worst one was probably to say that Yukon night vision thing that just stopped working and was a complete waste of money.
Right.
But yeah, I think we all buy stuff that we kind of go, oh yeah, well that's awesome, I'll buy that, and you kind of get it, and you're like,
this is never going to get used.
No, I want that now. So
that one.
Yeah, I mean, if anyone else has anything could beat that, whack it in the chat, because I'll be interested to see what else sort of other people have bought.
Absolute howlers of something that you've seen the picture and you think that looks really cool, and it's turned up and you've gone, good God, what did I just do?
I bought a suppressor that was that long, for no reason. I just thought this is an amazingly long suppressor, and I think it'll look funny. And I put it on a pistol. Literally just for like a photo, and then that's never been used. Because like who needs a suppressor that long? It doesn't do anything. It's just an empty tube.
This does nothing for me.
You can't wield it out of a holster. It's a nightmare. Like, you point at anyone, you're pretty much touching them on the forehead. Like, what's the point?
Freeze.
But it did look cool. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
Yeah. Ray says his worst buy was the ASG Combat Master, much used as a Bible in a White House. I'm assuming that's not White House, but yeah.
Well, I don't know.
It might be the White House. That's going to too much political satire there. Just jumping back to the Blue Force tracker, Marcus says the Aris Alpha is another one.
Okay.
And Andy said there's a really good one called Trace Force as well, as it crosses it's cross platforms.
I'm guessing for Apple and Android as well.
Yeah, James says the same thing, so that's cool.
Okay, that's probably worth looking into.
Nick says those goggles are now in a red bag.
Those goggles in the red bag.
I'm gonna have to make a "This is not a murder bag" patch.
Yeah.
Ray says he also bought a Spiritus clone chest rig that I just couldn't get on with. Yeah. There's so much kit that you just buy, and then you're like, "Oh, this is going to be really good," and you try it out, and it doesn't work, and it's like, can't send it back now. So, but James bought an Elcan from Wish. That was definitely the worst thing he's ever bought or seen.
So I bought a like a D-Bow pet box from Wish, and it's still going strong to this day. It's absolutely brilliant. It's only a white light and a red red laser sort of thing pointer on it, but absolutely CR123 battery powered, pressure pad, and it's got also the pressure pad on the actual top of the pet box. But absolutely magic. It never let me down. Really good.
That's pretty good. I mean, to be fair, I think I have looked at before, and it is on my list of things to potentially buy myself at some point. I bought the Predator laser sight. You know the 3 dots with the lasers.
Oh yeah.
I've got one of those that I
That's
bought.
quite terrifying.
It was again ridiculously expensive, and you've got the 3 dots. But then for some reason, and I don't know why, presuming it's got knocked, one of the lasers has gone out of alignment. So now I've got 2 lasers, one over here.
Oh right. Oh dear.
And for the life of me,
adjust it.
No, over the life of me, I can't get this thing to come back in. The only time that it's again 3 dots is if you hold it about like 2 foot away from what you're aiming at, because one of them is so out of alignment.
So you got to be super sneaky then. Just
Andy bought a Riff for £300, hated it, put in a box, and was only sold a few months ago.
Oh,
at least you got some money for it again.
Well, yeah. Did you get back what you paid for it, or was it just I'll just get rid of it, I'm never going to use it sort of price?
What was the Riff as well? I don't know what it was.
Riff? What was it? Yeah, absolutely.
Ray said it was good. This is the Spiritus. It was good. I just didn't like it.
That's fair enough, mate. Yeah, like a personal choice, isn't it? You know, just a couple of bits of balls I've got, which I thought, oh yeah, I love that. No, I don't. No.
Nick brought a PEQ battery box that can't fit any AEG battery. That's quite a good one.
That's well handy, that, isn't it? Yeah. I'm guessing that's a fake one to have your battery externally mounted in the PEC box, is it, Nick? Or is that an actual PEC box that you can't find a battery to fit in? Was that, am I reading it right? Can't fit any AEG battery. Yeah, it must be the false ones, and you can have the
I thought it was the battery box. Yeah.
Yeah, it must be. Yeah.
I mean, we're laughing. Obviously, I think we're all laughing out of sympathy laugh.
We've done that. I know your pain, brother.
James said this was a plastic toy shell with a thin piece of plastic in it, no electrics or anything. So that's the L-can. Sorry, going back to the L-can. So it was a plastic toy shell, thin piece of plastic in it, no electrics.
Right.
Yeah. Andy bought a Watson D-Bow from Wish, got hit by customs, ended up costing me 160 and it didn't work, but couldn't send it back afterwards as it would have cost me more.
Oh,
yeah.
Painful, mate.
I bought a fake Spitfire. You know the little tracer unit that lights up.
Oh, the sound hog. Oh, I know. Yeah, I'm with you. Yeah.
I bought one of those off of AliExpress, I think it was. And it didn't work at all. You could put anything through that. It didn't. So it lit up and everything like that. But whatever was the detector didn't detect anything. So contacted them and they said, "Can you show us a video of it not working?" There you go. It's not working. And then they were going to charge me to send that back as well, and that worked out to be more than it was worth. So,
yeah, you've got to be careful, chaps, with things like that. You know.
Yeah. Andy's was a MP5, by the way, and only lost 100 pounds. That's not too bad, to be fair. Could be worse.
I suppose. If you've never used it though, it's a bit like, ooh, you know.
Yeah.
Unfortunate.
And Ray says, I think if you buy a kit that you don't like or can't get on with, give it to another player who could use it. Not everyone can afford all the kit, and being nice is a good thing. Oh, look at him, old Mr. Rage superhero of the week.
Just a genuinely wicked lad, isn't he?
Yeah. I tell you what, in fact, that's a good shout. I will give away my South African, the black South African thing that I bought when we do the our NoFo event that we're still planning and will happen at some point in the future.
Yeah, it will happen.
When we do that, well, I'll offer it up as like a little raffle type thing. How's that?
There we go.
Cool, nice one. Bill, yeah. So by all means, get any more questions in. We had another one from Kit Nicholson regarding the Ebel stock pack. I've never come across this. I don't know if you have, Lance.
No, I haven't. No, this is new to me. Let me see. Shimmy.
Just find the question. So that was the question. I've not actually found it yet because I've got
good and modest, but I'm really not a good guy. Of course you are. Stop pack thinking about saving for half track. Half track sounds like a vehicle. What is this devilry?
I'm just finding it. 2 secs. Let's have a look. So I mean, we've obviously never used it, so we can't.
No, I can't really comment on whether it's good or bad, mate. But I'd love to. I'm intrigued to see what this is.
There we go.
Oh, okay.
I'm assuming it's that one. Kit, by all means, tell me if it's not. Yeah.
Not familiar with them, mate. I mean, you know, first impressions. It's a general sort of backpack, isn't it? I mean, any more details on it? Mate? Size of it? Or 3-day pack. So I'm guessing we're sort of talking Bergen sort of size then, or.
Well, it will carry 2 3-litre hydration kits mounted in side pockets.
So that's your rocket pouches then, really, isn't it?
Yeah, or 2-litre bladders in side sleeves.
Oh, okay. Law enforcement, general military, 72-hour assault. Yeah, okay.
We're now all just reading the website together.
Yeah,
so
sorry. Can't comment on that. Yeah, I mean, it looks good, mate. But I mean, yeah, obviously. Best thing is YouTube is your friend, mate. Look at a few reviews on there. See if you can find the genuine ones that aren't just sort of like sponsored blurge. And go from there. But by all accounts, there, what Mark's just flicking through now, it seems to be have good reviews. Yes.
Cool. So yeah, unfortunately, Kit, I can't really comment any more on it than that.
Stock. I have to remember that. I'll just use ex-army surplus, mate. Patrol packs, Bergens. That's pretty much me. Oh, apart from Miltech as well. I've got the old Miltech pack here as well. Beautiful. Love a bit of that.
As a general question that I'd like to ask our viewers, where is a really good military surplus shop? I've been kind of touring recently with work every once in a while, kind of like the southern coastline in terms of sort of the occasional shops and stuff. The best one I've ever found myself, I think, is in Norwich, Nottingham, maybe, called Anchor Supplies. That's
that
like
was the one you went to prior to the Tuddenham game, isn't it? For
no. So that was another good one.
okay.
I think that was called the Bunker. That one. So that one's near. Well, that one's near in Tuddenham, I think. Anchor Supplies. That was what Nick was saying. So Anchor Supplies is good. I mean, when I say a good military surplus shop, I'm talking like, you walk in and it's just stuff everywhere, and you're like, ooh, and you get to spend a good sort of 3 hours just perusing.
Treasure. There's treasure had to be had.
Yeah. So if anyone's got any good ones they can recommend, it'll be good to sort of find them, basically. So Fresh Meat says Semaphore and Kit Monster. So I've not been to Kit Monster as a physical shop. Semaphore's good. But I know Anchor Supplies. Literally, you walk into Anchor Supplies and it's got like a bomb outside it and stuff, and you can just wander up. They've got big old crates of tents and stuff like that.
Yes. Crates of stuff.
Riot helmets and just all that juicy good stuff.
You just want a tub of stuff to rifle through and find a gem of something.
So I mean, the Anchor Supplies shop, they have a stand at the War and Peace show, and it's exactly like that. So it's literally they've got stuff everywhere, and it's grand. It's just amazing.
I love it. I can't wait for the War and Peace revival to come back. Hopefully next year. Come on.
I'm hoping it's gonna be next year because that way my daughter can wear the costume that I bought her.
Very good.
So we can all go dressed up.
Fair play. Nice.
Harry says, question, what is the most brutal event you've ever done? My site manager spoke about tier 1. Being zipper clipped and bundled into the boot of a car later for interrogation looked awesome.
Oh, I've never done that before. However, the most hard-going event for me probably was the Falklands one we done, where we had to fight from basically sort of like the car park hard standing up the hill, took our first objective, held that for 3 hours or 2 hours, whatever it was. And then once we secured a beachhead, we could then push out onto the next one, hold that, push out, hold that, push out, hold that, blah, blah, blah. And it was essentially a case of then just getting your head down where you could, when you could, for the 48 hours, whatever it was. That was proper hard, that one. Yeah, I struggled with that, keeping going. You were just on your feet all day, and you know what rest you got was what rest you got. There wasn't really much stopping in that one. And the team was a bit smaller as well because it was a winter event. I think there was only probably sort of 14, 15 of us as a NATO sort of side, and the same, maybe one or two more for the Op 4 side. But that was a tough event. That I really felt that one when I got home. Yeah, that was proper. Yeah, but yeah, being bundled into a boot of a car, blimey, that sounds terrifying.
I know there was talk of an event at Apocalypse where I think the plan was that you don't even get your bags. You have to sort of like fight till you get your kit. Mm-hmm. I don't know if that event actually happened or not, whether it was sort of like a hypothetical.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't remember that one.
No, I mean, the hardest one I think I've ever done was probably my first one. And that was merely just because it was the first event I've ever done.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
That was just hard because there's like a massive learning curve for what you're doing.
Yeah. And plus, you bring so much kit that you don't really need, but you bring it anyway. Yeah, I did exactly the same thing.
You're struggling, like you're testing stuff for the first time. Like, I'd never slept under a basher until my first MilSim event, so that was a whole new experience for me, and stuff like that. I'd probably say the hardest one I've done subsequent to that was probably the Legion one where it rained like non-stop.
Yeah.
And that was mostly just because that was again a training experience in terms of how to deal with that much wet weather. So I think for me, it's probably not so much hard as in terms of physical exertion or anything like that. It's more like just the challenges you have to face to kind of have a good event. Yeah,
sort of adapting to the environment and weather conditions and stuff like that, isn't it? And making sure you've got the right stuff on you to sort of cope with them, downpours and whatnot, extra layers and able to dry kit and stuff like that. So, yeah, nice, mate.
So cool. Any other questions? I'll just run through the chat.
There's a few coming on the old surplus stores there. HM Supplies, Canberra.
Yeah. Andy Bob said, I tend to check eBay first so you can find some cracking deals. So, a top tip for eBay.
when he comes
sort
back.
of like BuzzFeed article that says, top things that eBay don't want you to know. If you can find a shop that's selling something, have a chat with the shop before you buy it on eBay, because they obviously have to pay fees to eBay for everything they sell.
Mm-hmm.
And you might be able to find that you can either pick it up in person or something like a little bit cheaper. I only live just up the way from Semaphore in Maidstone. So I found something from their website I wanted. So I literally just sort of dropped them a message and said, look, do I have to buy this from you from eBay? And they're like, no, don't worry about it. Just come down and grab it and we can obviously make it a little bit cheaper for you.
Yeah.
So,
and 9 times out of 10, they quite like that, because you go in the shop, you end up seeing something else you want. You think,
I know. That's
cheers, bud. Yeah, lovely stuff. Yeah. Save myself £5 on this, but just spent
2 burgers, 6 pairs of boots, and a rifle carrier. It's crazy. I only wanted a patch.
Exactly, yeah.
Nick says there's a new one, old style one in. Hang on, there's a new old style one in Norfolk. They had a big fire, so aren't as big now, but their place at Ripley was even bigger. Oh, okay. If you got a name, Nick, throw it in. That'd be cool. HM Supplies. Ray says, if it ain't raining, it ain't training. Yeah, I know. Yeah. The problem was I got so wet, and that kind of harks back to how to deal with when you're miserable in an airsoft event, because there was only so much dry kit that I had. Everything was wet.
Get happy.
I think at one point I just had like I brought like a little basher with me, so I just had that wrapped over me, just standing there on stag duty, like I'm very cold and wet.
Yeah. This is fucking shit. Don't bring everyone else down, Mike. Stop it. Have a sweetie. You want a
hug? Harry says, I always look at the seller name on eBay and then Google them. It's usually much cheaper to buy direct. Exactly.
Good shout, chaps. Yeah, nicely done.
And that's not poo-pooing eBay, because obviously you can find quite a lot of good little deals in eBay and stuff as well.
Yeah.
So, Reaper 1, spend a fortune each time we go to Semaphore. Yeah, I can imagine that.
I'm yet to go there. I've not been there before.
You should come up, Lance. Come spend the day with me, and we'll go to Semaphore, and then
Yes, I'll wait. Yeah. Let me get a bit more overtime behind me first, and then I'll pop down.
Ian says softy jackets are ideal for stagging, and
yeah, love me softy, mate.
Yeah.
I actually repaired it the other day with some sniper tape. I was very impressed with myself, my tailoring skills.
Nice.
Just spotted a hole in a softy and went, brand new. Look at this.
Does that form tailoring skills? I don't know if that necessarily comes under it.
Shut up, Mike. Yes, it does.
I know for anyone that's sort of been following Paul's Instagram, the Call Sign the Chief, he's got I think a new Whoopee jacket or a Whoopee.
Oh, I saw that. Jacket. Yeah, that looks quite nice.
From Widow One. I can't remember the full name of the company, so apologies. Yeah, that looked quite nice. I might also be maybe looking.
It's a bit of you as well. It's a US Woodland as well, isn't it?
I do like it. I do like a Whoopee. Yeah. Actually, having said that, just while there's other questions coming in, so I obviously stayed in the hospital with my wife. I had to sleep on the floor, and I was very well equipped for that, being that I'd kind of taken a lot of airsoft kit with me that I would normally take when we're staying in the woods.
Plate carrier, mortar.
full LMG setup. It was amazing. No one came near me.
Sandbag the doorway. Just had a 249 sticking out of it.
But so I took my snug pack jungle blanket. So that was an amazing one to have. Just because I was literally on the floor. So I had the snug jungle blanket. I had an inflatable roll mat, that Dutch Army one that we bought from Prepper's shop the other day. Little inflatable pillow. That was me sorted. I did use one little thing I did find out. So Prepper's shop recently sold a load of the flameless ration pack heaters. So they're roughly like that. You obviously slide the MRE into, put a little bit of water in, and it heats up. They heat up very quickly, like proper quickly, to the point that the bag sort of somewhat exploded. And fortunately, I sat near the window because I was like, I don't know if this is the best idea to do this in a hospital, but I was going to go with it anyway because I wanted to just like commit to this whole like expedition type. I brought it with me. I was going to use it.
Yeah. You're at the summit and you wanted something to eat at the end of the day.
Yeah. So I heated this thing up, and it just then. I was like, ah! I've got steam coming everywhere. So I've just put it out. The cam's gone. I'm back. I had this like plastic bag just issuing loads of steam. It's all getting really hot, and I was like, oh no, I'm gonna get in trouble. And then at one point a fire engine came screaming by. Fortunately, it was for something else. Well, I say fortunately, I don't know if someone's house was burning down, so that's obviously not a good thing.
No.
But yeah, so just be a little bit aware that flameless ration pack heaters should be used outdoors.
Yeah, that's Mike's top safety tip for Wednesday.
There we go. There we go. And definitely not in a hospital. Yeah.
Oh,
see you later, fresh meat. Have a good one.
Oh, cheers, mate. All the best.
Yeah. So, I was genuinely a little bit panicky, but it was good. It's all right. It's fine. Nothing caught fire. Nothing burnt down. That's not a problem.
Yeah.
There's a lot of love for Semaphore in the chat.
Yeah, it looks that way. Yeah, definitely. I must make a trip down. Like I said, I've not been down. Do you know what? I've not been inside an army surplus store. I don't suppose many people have recently, but inside an army surplus store just to browse and peruse bits and bobs. You know what I mean? Just have a look, just a little bit of list, a little look about and things like that. Yeah, miss doing that. Yeah, must make a trip. We have to make a date, Mike.
Yeah, well, the one in Nottingham. So I went to visit my niece at uni, and we're sort of like wandering around the campus, the town. It's all lovely street names like Sunrise Hill and stuff like that. And I said, "Oh, would you mind if we go to this surplus shop? It looks really good. It's a little way out of the main town centre." And they're like, yeah, okay, cool. And we're walking out, and it's a little bit further to walk than I thought. It took us about 20 minutes to get there. And the names were just like decreasingly less happy as we got there. So it was like, started as like Sunshine Road, and it was like, I don't know, like Empty Forest Street or something like that. And then we ended up literally at Incinerator Road.
Incinerator Road. Marvelous.
But hands down, one of the best surplus shops I've been in a while. It's got that smell as well. You walk in, you're like,
vintage.
Home.
Yeah, exactly that. Vintage. Canvas, vintage. Lovely. Oils and stuff.
Oh. Apparently Hooters is near Anchor and Nottingham next time we go as well. So there you go.
Well, that's it. Even more reason to go then. No, last time I was in Nottingham was Stag Do, about 13 years ago. Well, I can remember of it.
I think they do excellent food there, from what I remember.
Yeah, I think they did at some point. That weekend, food was eaten and it was nice.
Damien says 2-4 Delta surplus on eBlaze and Airsoft and ex-Army does deals if you contact direct. Cool. Have a good shout out.
Nicely done, mate. 2-4 Delta surplus. We'll be looking them up.
Yeah.
Love a bit of that. Supporting the old ex-service guys. Always good.
Cool. So if there's any last few questions, please feel free to get them in the chat. Obviously, if anyone wants any patches, we obviously still got those for sale. All the details are on our Instagram and Facebook and all of that. In terms of next week, I apologise. Lance and I haven't had a proper catch-up yet in terms of what we were going to do next week. So we'll kind of come out with that later in the week.
It'll be a surprise.
Some bits and pieces up. Yeah, it'll be a little bit of a mystery.
Beautiful surprise.
But we will get that sorted out. Anything else we need to mention? Obviously, MilSim in a bag, so I'll have hopefully some details for that next week. So we will announce the winner of that. I've spoken to them. They are super keen to come on the show. So I'm hoping we can get them on.
Fantastic. So all that stuff that you've given in, guys, and all the help that we've had putting it all together is so the owner's been sorted. They're aware of it and they're over the moon. And so it's just fantastic. So great. Well done, everybody who sort of contributed to that. Fantastic. Very, very happy with that.
Cool. I think that's everything. All the notification bits. Andy says, would you guys ever go overseas for a MilSim event?
Yes. Thanks. Anyhow, good night.
Cool. Next question.
I'd love to, mate.
Yeah,
I would. Isn't it? I'd love to do that one.
Yeah.
There's another one as well. I've heard there's an island. This sounds like a horrific horror film but there's like an island that you actually assault via boats like ribs, and you have to go up beaches, and then the rest of the remainder of the event is on this massive island somewhere. Fuck knows where it is.
I'm definitely falling in if I go on a boat. That's going to happen.
You imagine it? Just my AG. throw it back in the boat. Don't care if I drown. Keep my gun.
Yeah.
But yeah, that'd be cool. But yeah, border war would be good. I'd love to go and do like one of the lion claw ones in like the US or something one day, but I can't see that ever happening. But you know, we can dream. You know, they do look awesome. From the guys
it's all the building.
Guerrilla Airsoft Radio. They attend the events every year, sort of thing. So they always do like a debrief. So I always like listening to them. They have a cracking podcast, by the way. Check them out. But yeah, the things they describe about it, like they do, it's like is it Harris Air Force Base or something? That's where a lot of them are sort of held at, these lion claw events, and it just seems to be epic. I mean, Marcus is quite a thingy for the lion claw events in the US. So yeah, that'd be one for me. That if I had to choose one, it'd be that. Go to the US and do an event out there. That'd be cool. Yeah, very much so.
See, I'd love to do the US one, but like you, I can never see that happening.
You know, like
it's just a pipe dream. It's just, it'd be cool. Yeah, I know that there was an abandoned airport, I think, in Spain, that was used for an event. That looked pretty cool. A little bit maybe selfishly, I guess the only thing holding me back from doing events in Europe are language barriers. Maybe I can just see that being a little bit tricky. But then, say, border war looks like it's sort of proper geared up for loads of people from loads of different countries to come over.
Yeah, I think so. I don't think you'd have a problem, mate.
I could just see it. You know, you just sort of, at least in America, they speak sort of an amount of English.
Sort of broken English.
I can only say that because I am half American, so that's fine.
If you can call it that, for Christ, yeah.
Dimitri says, "Would you go to Russia?" I'd definitely go to Russia. I'd love to go to Russia anyway.
I would like to go to Russia, regardless.
Airsoft.
Yeah.
Just come back and go to an airsoft, not an airsoft, like a military surplus shop in Russia, and come back with an actual AK.
I'd like to come back with an AK. I'd like to come back with the accent. I'd like to come back with a lot. Yes, that'd be cool.
Yeah. Andy says the visa's really expensive and hard to get just for travel, apparently.
Oh, Christ, I don't know, mate. Nothing I've looked into. Like I said, it's a pipe dream, so I've not really delved into the details of it. I'd just like to go there one day.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, there's lots of places in the UK that I'd also like to go to that are more achievable and haven't done that yet. So
yeah, exactly. You know. Yeah. I've got to get closer to home first. I've got some areas I want to visit. Good.
Yeah. Cool. Well, if there's no more other questions to come in, I guess that's probably it for this week. We can end a little bit earlier. I know, I won't lie, I'm quite tired and would like to go relieve my poor wife of the baby. Yeah.
Yeah, no, fair play. So we'll announce during the week then, guys, what we'll be chatting about next Wednesday at 8.
Yep.
So you have a nice little surprise there for you waiting, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Oh, banner.
We will now be, touch wood, hopefully running at 8 regularly on Wednesdays. So there should hopefully not be too many. I'm getting there. I've got to find you on the screen first.
Banner. Where's the banner?
Okay. In the meantime, if you want to contact us, you can get hold of us at email. By email, nofochat@hotmail.com. Instagram is @November_Foxtrot_Nofo. Facebook is @November Foxtrot Nofo, and YouTube is November Foxtrot. Just again to hark on, if anyone would like to follow and subscribe on YouTube, that would be amazing. I only want to get to 100, please. Yeah. After that, I haven't got a problem. I will never mention it again. So in the meantime, Mike, make sure you're fresh for next time. I will do, mate. Don't worry about it. I don't know. I'm fresh this time. I'm relatively fresh. I have had a shower, but it's all good. There is one last question. We'll throw this one. Damien says, are you guys using bungees or jungle knots for bashers?
I use jungle knots, mate, for mine, for my basher. Yeah.
I
did used to use bungees, but then I sort of found the dark art of jungle knots, which was just sort of, wow, this is cool. So yeah, we did a little video, didn't we? I put up on our Facebook page. You can check out. But it's just a nice, a simple, fast method of getting a shelter erect.
Well, bungees weigh a lot more as well.
Yeah, and they're dangerous as fuck in my eyes, and literally in your eye, dangerous.
Yeah, no, fair play.
Yeah,
fair play. But I guess if you need a bungee, if you need to suddenly make a bungee slingshot, then you can.
If you need to bungee something, there are bungees there to be bungeed.
Yeah. So if anyone's interested in the jungle knots, we do have that on our Facebook page. Feel free to have a look at that. I know Rage is probably going to shout at me for mentioning Facebook again. We maybe can try to put it on Instagram at some point. It's just, to be honest, it's a lot easier to put them on Instagram, on Facebook. Sorry, I'm starting to get tired now.
much waffling.
Yeah. So anyway, thanks everyone for joining us, and we shall see you all next week. Say goodbye, Lance.
Say goodbye, Lance.
See you later.
Bye bye.